How's it going, everybody? It's Shinigami here to bring you another drama-filled video. I know some of you may be surprised, some of you may not be, but yeah, we're going over the facts of what has happened and transpired with the one and only MrBeast. Now, I know this may be hard for some of you to conceptualize, but the things that have happened with MrBeast have not necessarily been the most graceful, right? Let's go ahead and let me see if I can do my ninjutsu properly. Ram, tiger, dog, and then rat. Boom! Let's fucking book it into it. So, for one, I think many people have should be apologizing to Mr. Sunny V2, because unfortunately, for some people, he has actually been very right about what happened here. Now, he was calling this about a year earlier, back in April, and it's not until now that we finally have a little bit more concrete evidence and proof of oh. It's been about a year past now since Sunny V2 made any kind of allegations, but was very clear in stating that why Kris will soon be a nightmare for MrBeast. MrBeast responded with, "Yeah, this is getting absurd. Kris isn't my nightmare. He's my fucking friend, and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off." All right. Well, that's what the man himself has to say. But if we take a little bit other things, Sunny V2, after being abused for an entire year, finally getting the last laugh.
Life like this sure is sweet, huh?
It definitely is.
All right, let's keep it moving. Sunny V2, how Sunny V2 feels right now, knowing that he was right at the end. Very validated. D-Day Cobra. Sunny V2 was right, and they hated him for it over a year ago. Let's just fucking keep it moving. Sunny V2, when he checks his, when Kris is trending, you know, just smirking and shit. What else we got right here?
You all laughed at me. Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you?
Oof. Just dub after dub for Sunny V2. When he was over here at most very much ahead of the curve for someone, you know, Kris Chan getting exposed as a pedophile is just a natural pipeline for being trans. Bro traded the perfect life to LARP as a woman and message underage boys. Everyone who defended him for months and attacked Sunny V2 must feel really stupid now. MrBeast must dissolve him now. Disavow. Y'all N-words. Sunny V2 a apology. He was right about Kris Tyson.
Hey, look at us.
Look at us. Huh?
Who would have thought?
Not me.
It just keeps on moving forward. So, everybody that was so quick to basically talk smack to Sunny V about what was happening is now pretty much silent all of a sudden, because oh my god, it doesn't fall in line with our fucking values. When guess what? When that shit happened to Dr. Disrespect, all of you were so goddamn quick to be like, oh, condemn this man. He talked to a younger age person. He was making inappropriate jokes. Cancel this motherfucker, right? It's just like, all right, if that's the same kind of attitude you want to have towards someone on your opposition, now someone on the left who has said the same exact fucking things towards a minor, hey, why are you not so quick about it, huh? Seems a little bit fucking hypocritical, and I would say. And if I look at some of his most recent videos,
the biggest YouTuber.
Pause that shit. Yes, the dislikes are immense. And it's only grown fucking bigger and bigger with keeping this man on board. Let's just keep it moving.
I have built the.
Hey, yo, 84 fucking K. Not a bad number to hit. Not a bad number to hit, in my opinion. Especially with someone who has, 305 million subscribers. Now, I know, might be a little bit extra for some of y'all, but I just want to get back to what Sonny V2 was saying over a year ago. Let's back it up a bit.
All of whom are already watching anyway, and if we've learned anything from Hollywood in recent years, it's that adding over-the-top LGBT characters for the sake of relatability rarely works as intended, and is often nothing more than a distraction from the premise of the movie or video. On top of this, it can be uncomfortable and unrelatable for the silent majority, although as we have seen, a situation like Kris's does have the potential to create an otherworldly amount of discussion, which could be seen as a benefit for the MrBeast brand.
Drama is good for growth, 100%. That would be an easy way to up my.
So you're a Keemstar?
The problem is, this type of situation is probably the last thing that MrBeast wants to attract, as he's forced to agree with Kris's position, as he has no way of manipulating the situation without being painted as the bad guy. It's a lose-lose situation for MrBeast. I think.
And look, when you look at his face, just back it up right there.
Lose situation for.
Can you tell me that he looks very accepting? No. He doesn't look very accepting in my opinion, but a lot of people wanted to try and push that off and be like, hey, you're being a little absurd. Sir, you're being a little bit over-analytic about it. Like, it's not what you think. Okay, shit. All I can say is it's pretty fucking ironic that now there are not that many people talking shit about him. Now, we'll look at his most recent videos and see what their subscriber count is at. Sorry.
In this video, we are building.
Video. Sorry. 39K. All right.
I've gathered 50 of the biggest
181K. And I'm pretty sure this one's as big as it is because of what recently happened. So, you take that all into consideration after what Sonny V2 had to say. I will try and get back to this one, but hold up. So right here, we got a thing about trans camps and how it takes place. Basically, again, indoctrinating kids that are underage. And Mr. Amir Odom has made it very well aware. Again, he's a gay man. He's been fighting the opposition here, where the LGB does not stand and fall in line with the QTC plus portion of it all, right? Because they don't stand for letting kids get indoctrinated into this shit. Sometimes kids are just tomboys or femboys, right? They're not trans. They never were going to be trans. But when you indoctrinate them at such a young age, you make them fall and make them feel like, oh, I need to go along with this ideology. And then when they end up detransitioning from a trans, the effects are very huge. Because guess what? With testosterone in women, you can't go back on that stuff. When you start to sew up pieces that shouldn't be sewn during puberty, guess what? Those pieces start to unravel and become damaged even more after puberty. Because the body isn't fully developed yet. Some people that were just lost need to go through the hardships of either being lesbian or gay or femboy or tomboys to find themselves. But no, the current ideology would have you believe they're just trans. All the femboys and tomboys, nope, they're just trans. They don't know what they want, but they are definitely trans, even though when they detransition, the effects are irreversible. So I'll let him take, that information from what y'all hear, and watch his video, please, why some trans people decide to detransition. All right, so we'll leave that there. The next thing we want to take a listen to is Andrew Tate. I know some of y'all, oh my god, Andrew Tate, the fucking sex trafficker. Whoa, well, he does make a few good points that we should take a listen to.
So MrBeast's tranny friend, he's been caught talking to kids, trying to fuck children. Surprise, surprise. Didn't see that one coming. Fucking hell. You know what's most amazing to me about this whole scenario? That nobody seems to point out this guy's name. MrBeast. They think that's a bit of a strange name. I'm sure I could Google it and there'd be some bullshit reason why he's called MrBeast. I'm sure they come up with some stupid story that when he was a kid, he had a figurine called Beast, and then when he grew up, he wanted to be a figurine. Some fucking garbage. Why would the largest YouTube channel with an affinity towards children in the world be named after the beast from the devil? Why would that happen? Is that a coincidence? Considering the fact that you don't get to become the largest YouTube channel in the world without permission from the Matrix, because they throttle the accounts they don't like, and they take subscribers off, and they prevent the accounts that tell the truth from getting views. If you're getting that many views and that many subscribers, it's because they're pushing you to the front with the algorithm. They want the kids to see you. And by coincidence, this account they want the kids to see is named after the Beast. And these are the same people who openly admit they're coming for your children. They chant it in the streets at LGBT parades. We're coming for your kids, because the LGBT agenda has no future without your children. They can't have kids. They can't reproduce. They need your kids. They need to come and take yours. And they're open about it. And they put their flags everywhere. They have their month. And they put all their bullshit propaganda in schools to try and convince kids to do all this insanity and confuse children. And at the same time, the largest YouTube channel aimed at children in the world, now, coincidentally, one of them becomes a tranny who tries to fuck kids, and that's being normalized, and it's all called the Beast, and it's an accident?
Again, not fooling with everything that Andrew Tate has to say, but there are things you cannot ignore. For whatever reason, when it comes to the left ideology and the stuff about LGBTQ plus stuff, well, our one most famous Dr. Disrespect, well, he was definitely fighting against that stuff with the whole pronouns and LGBT trans people and stuff like that for kids. Oh, all of a sudden got canceled super goddamn quick. But now the same thing is happening to Kris Tyson on the left, and silence, crickets, if you will, to that same side. A little bit ironic that so many people are very quiet about this fucking ordeal. And let's just keep looking at what some of the stuff that Drama Alert has been posting. He posted, "I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments. If it hurt or offended anyone, it was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things MrBeast and social media to focus on my family and mental health." Seems like a cop-out. Hold up. Oh, I'm sorry. My fucking stomach giving me a fucking bellyache. Anyways, I think a lot of people deserve giving Sunny V2 an apology after everything that's happened. You know, checking the trending tab, seeing that Kris is trending from MrBeast. What else do we got here? Right here. Kris Tyson from MrBeast is far worse than Dr. Disrespect, but the so-called influencers haven't said a word about it. Kris had inappropriate conversations with minors at the age of 13, used the N-word with the hard R on stream, and provided revenge porn for kids. An anonymous user has come out overnight posting screenshots of him and MrBeast member Kris Tyson texting. Kris sent many sexual messages when he was 18 and the anonymous user was 14. Let's take a look at one of these messages. "I would like to stay anonymous, but Kris Tyson was texting me back in 2020 when I was 14. I'm 18 now. I commented on one of his tweets. He saw it and ended up messaging me when I was young. I couldn't see how he was grooming and manipulating me, but looking back at it, I can see." And again, things like this keep popping up. You got Sneeko trying to blast Charlie for not saying anything for being in his most recent games. Kris Tyson steps away permanently from MrBeast and apologizes for hurting and offending people. Again, I think it's a little bit more than just hurting people. You were being a fucking predator. And if we can come at Dr. Disrespect this fucking hard, you best believe we're going to come at you this fucking hard too. Because, it's just a bit tad coincidental that now you want to step away from the MrBeast brand to not let him get so much heat when, guess what? Jake the Viking, let me fucking find that real quick. There we are. When he was saying that, guess what? Jimmy knew. Hurt or offended anyone? Oh, brother. This is why your favorite influencers are fake and have no backbone. Doc got accused with talking inappropriately to a minor with no evidence. Everyone attacks him and runs his name through the mud. He loses sponsors, partners, everything before, and, whatchamacallit. Yeah. Kris has actual proof, screenshots, recordings of both audio and video, and confessions from being a victim. Everyone who jumped on Doc is fucking silent. Now, it's only recently that people like Pokimane and Valkyrie actually made a statement about it, but so many more people on the left, or central side of things, haven't really said much. Other than, oh, you know, we gotta wait for more evidence to pop up because we just can't feel right condemning the man, right? What else happened here? So this is what fucking Valkyrie said. I was hoping for a more detailed response, but glad Ava is overall stepping away from MrBeast's team. You didn't have that same fucking sentiment when Dr. Disrespect was having that same thing blown at him. It's just a bit odd, to say the least, that that kind of stuff is happening now. Here we have a former employee of MrBeast. Okay.
Hold on, let me turn off the music. I'm outside MrBeast's studio right now. Here's a cornfield. I'll explain that tomorrow. I've just been driving by looking to see, you know, is there an FBI raid going on? What's happening? My name's Dawson. I worked at MrBeast from February to May of this year, 2024. Kris is the tip of the iceberg. And when Jake the Viking says MrBeast knew, yeah, MrBeast knew. I heard many times that Ava, Kris Tyson, is a major.
And what many people are trying to seemingly not account for or take into account is that for Jake the Viking, well, he couldn't just come out and say, hey, Jimmy knew about all this stuff, or Kris Taylor had so and so stuff happening, because, you know, he didn't have sufficient evidence. He wasn't recording this stuff. He wasn't, you know, gaining the same kind of evidence that was being put forth for other people. So him only saying, hey, Jimmy knew, he's only talking about from his own personal experience, right? But when you do kind of culminate everything that has happened, yeah, it makes it very apparent that Kris Tyson was being protected by MrBeast. And the fact that there are so many people silent about the fucking incident is pretty outrageous, because they were so quick to attack Dr. Disrespect on little to no evidence. And again, yes, this evidence would come out if Twitch themselves actually put forth said evidence, but also it would incriminate them in a larger scheme, though they didn't do that. But we haven't heard anything else from that. Now, with the little evidence that we did hear from Twitch, well, people were quick to jump on the bandwagon of, hey, attack Dr. Disrespect, cancel him, lose his sponsorships, right? But with Kris Tyson, oh, you know what, he's starting to affect MrBeast. Let's cancel any kind of affiliation we have with him. Let's back away. I'm sorry, I'm going to step away from MrBeast's crew and stuff like that. And it's just like, it's a little bit convenient now at the time when all this stuff is popping off, that now you want to have the balls, sorry, whatever you have, to back away from said incident when you were well and fully okay with going at a minor. And even though the minor had said, hey, the stuff that had happened, you know, it was just jokes, I didn't really see it as grooming or anything like that. It's just like, it doesn't matter if you see it as that. It's the fact that this was already a bad move to make, and that you decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and message minors and talk to them inappropriately in a sexual manner, is the big red flag in this whole ordeal. But again, so many people were so quick to cancel MrBeast when there's actual evidence for Kris Tyson. It's just a bit ironic, and like I already said, Sunny V2 was ahead of the goddamn curve. And there's even more stuff where Kris Tyson, an old YouTuber, found where he shared revenge porn of Jeanette McCurdy. That's where this video pops up from. And just so many things adding on to it, XQC saying, hey, why is everybody so silent about what can you call it, Kris Tyson, when you all were so quick to jump on Dr. Disrespect? And it's just like, I understand that, but hey, credence where credit is due. You attacked Dr. Disrespect with no relent, and now you don't want to attack Kris Tyson with the same kind of vitriol you gave Dr. Disrespect. That's just a bit hypocritical, right? That's pretty much all I can add to this disaster soup. But it's just wild and crazy that it's gone this far, and the fact that only now recently people are trying to say something about this whole ordeal. All I can say is, hold up, baby, hold up. All I can say is that people need to definitely reevaluate themselves, especially when they're trying to attack Redditors and other people that are attacking minors. And instead of doing so, when the time comes, you're defending them and you're just pretending like, oh, nothing happened, I wasn't doing anything. And then when everybody attacked Sunny V2 a year ago, saying that, hey, Kris Tyson's going to be a nightmare for MrBeast, now all of a sudden, oh, I'm not going to say that Sunny V2 was right. Exactly. Nobody's gonna say that, you know, Sunny V2 was right about this over a year ago, because guess what? He was right that so many things that he had said in his video ended up being true, right? And like I showed you with the other portion of the clip with Amir Odom, there are many parents and young adults that don't understand the destruction that transitioning kids at a young age causes, right? Because, well, for one, they're not done through puberty. They haven't fully developed as a adult or even as a kid. You're causing these kind of permanent changes into them when they still have a adaptable. Goddamn, I can't even speak. They have a more than enough time to change and be different and reflect on themselves. And when you permanently try and prohibit those changes, yeah, it's gonna be a big side effect that they're not necessarily trans. They're not necessarily what you thought they were, right? Some of them are just femboys or tomboys. And when they finally realize, hey, I'm a little bit more feminine as a boy, I'm actually just gay, or I'm a female and I'm just seen as a tomboy, you know, those things aren't actually advocated for. It makes this whole ordeal much more important because MrBeast and others are advertising towards a younger audience. And when you're starting to push that thing of, hey, you are actually trans, you are actually this type of way in a younger state of mind, when in reality you really don't know until you finally start reaching maturity at just about past 18 or even 20 years old and stuff like that. That's when it starts, you know, taking into effect.
Think about this. This is no different than the Cody Co shit, where people were just like, hey, I know that the current sitting president dropped out of the re-election campaign in the most historic thing that has happened in this election cycle, in a sea of historic things that have happened so far. Has Hassan talked about MrBeast Kris? Oh no, don't ban me, just a question. I'm not gonna ban you. I do want you to really think about it though. As a political commentator, do you think personally that right now I'm gonna be talking about YouTubers? If it was someone you hate, you'd be talking about them?
Yes.
Facts. Well, I hate. And I don't talk about them in times like this.
He's like, there's a lot of people I hate.
Fortunately for you, fucking weirdo drama perverts.
Wow.
Unfortunately for you, there are 50,000 other adults here that actually are coming in here for political.
That's cap.
Hear it again. It's just crazy that these people at the same side were so quick to condemn Dr. Disrespect, but at the same time, now that someone on their side has been ridiculed and persecuted for the same kind of actions, we're not going to say anything. We're just going to stay silent. Oh, it's not the time for that. What? Well, I'm saying persecuted as far as like people making allegations towards said person. Well, accused. These people were just so brazen to tell one thing over the other that now, hey, things have come full circle and they're starting to attack someone on your side. You're silent. But when it was attacking someone on the right, you were very quick to condemn them, cancel them, reduce their amount of, I guess you would say, outlook on the populace. But what else can I say? Hey, Shinigami signing out. Y'all have a good night, good evening, good morning. Let me know what else I missed, and we will see you in the next one. Say bye.
Bye.
See you next time.
So good, God.